Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you my updated brow routine. I think it had to have been over a year ago when I did my brow routine video, and since then I have just changed out some of the products and I guess very slightly changed how I actually do the brows. Particularly, I went from using brow pencils to brow powders. So this is the final look that I came up with today, and I'm just going to show y'all how I did my brows using some of the products that I have been liking lately. So before we get into that, if this is your first time here, again, welcome. I really hope that you'll consider subscribing today. And for those of you who are returning visitors and you're already subscribed, welcome back. All right, let's get into it. All right, so I have you zoomed in. When I go back and edit, I'll zoom in even more if I think I need to, but I already have my foundation and concealer on because I always do my base makeup before I move on to my eyebrows and eyeshadow. However, usually I put my under eye concealer on and I let that sit while I'm doing my brows, but for the sake of filming this video, I just decided to finish doing all of my face makeup. So I'll have everything that I'm wearing on my face in my description bar. So my base makeup is all done, so I'm gonna go right into the brows. So I'm gonna be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills 7B brush, and that is what this looks like. Trying to get it to focus. It's a dual-ended brush. It has a brush on one side and a spoolie on the other. That's the main reason I like this brush, is because I pretty much have two tools in one. So I'm gonna start with the spoolie side, and I might have to pick up another mirror to get even closer. So I'm gonna turn around just a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the spoolie side, and the first thing I'm gonna do is just brush my brows in the direction that I want my hairs to go. So at the beginning of the brow, I like to brush them pretty much straight up. And then as I'm getting to the tail, I like to brush up and out. This particular brow here gives me a lot of problems. Like, you see how it looks like really sparse? I don't know what is going on with this brow, but I feel like sometimes I just wake up in the morning and it just looks worse than it did the day before. So I don't know what the deal is with that one. This brow has a couple of sparse areas, but it's just not as crazy looking as this one. I have no idea how my brow got like that. But anyway, what I'm doing now is just brushing it in the area that I want the brows to go. Another thing that I do, even before I put my foundation on, if I feel the need to go through and like tweeze any stray hairs, I'll do that too. But sometimes you won't be able to tell if you have stray hairs that you want to get rid of until you brush them through. So sometimes I'll tweeze at this point, but usually I'll do that like even before I finish my foundation. That's one of the reasons why this brow may look so sparse. I might just be over tweezing, not really knowing what I'm doing. Okay, so I used to always use brow pencils, and my favorite one used to be the LA Girl Shady Slim brow pencil. I can't remember the color that I used to use, but I used to always buy like 3 and 4 at a time to make sure that I wasn't gonna run out. But one of the things that I don't like about any brow pencil that I've ever used is that you can't ever tell like how much product you have just by looking at it, because you have to just twist it up. So I did get in the habit of just occasionally twisting my pencil up just to see how much product I have left. However, the last time that I used a brow pencil, not this one, but the LA Girl pencil, the last time that I used it, I happened to run out of product while I was doing my brows. So I switched over to a powder because that was the only thing that I had to use, and then I've been using a powder ever since. So back then I was using the Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Kit, and I apologize, this is very dirty, but this is the one that I've been using, and as you can see, I've used up quite a bit. And then I kind of recently switched over to the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Powder Duo in the shade Granite. So let me show you what this one looks like. I might even be able to go lighter than this one, but I like this shade on me. So I'm gonna go in with my Brow Powder Duo. I'm gonna take the brush side and I'm going to dip it into both of the shades. I think you can see kind of like the brow the brush streaks in the powder. I usually go into both shades, and then I like to start kind of like right before the tail of my brow, work my way back, and then work my way forward. So back here, I guess I'm kind of like in the middle of my brow. I just like to go in and just fill in all of the sparse areas, and I do go pretty slow just to make sure that I'm not overfilling it. One of the reasons I like this brush is because it's very small, very detailed, so it allows me to get like right into those sparse areas. And if I want to, I can just kind of skip over the areas that I feel like they don't need to be filled in as much. So this area here right in the center, that is the two powders mixed. Now I'm gonna go in, when I get to the tail part, I use just the dark powder on this side. So I'm gonna pick up just that dark powder, and this part is kind of tricky for me because I try really hard not to tilt my head this way. I try to make sure that I'm keeping my head straight, and I'm also not tilting the brush down. I try to keep that straight as well. And then I want just a little arch on my brow, but I don't want to bring it down too far because I feel like that makes my whole eye look kind of droopy. And then I just try my best to draw a nice looking tail, but I feel like I'm never satisfied with the way the tails of my brows look. So I just do my best. All right, I'm gonna stop right there, but I know I'm gonna have to go back and clean that up a little bit. Now I'm gonna work on the front part of my brow, and for the front part, I only use the lighter powder. So I'm gonna dip just into that lighter powder, and then this time I'm turning the brush this way as opposed to this way. And another reason I like this particular brush, it just happens to fit right in this space here. So I feel like if you have thinner brows maybe, so I am turning the brush back down to get the bottom part of my brow, but I feel like if you have thinner brows than me and you don't want them to be as wide, this brush may still be too wide for you, but it just happens to fit the width of my brow kind of perfectly. So I'm just going through and I'm just stopping where my brow naturally stops, and then I'm just kind of like cleaning up the tops and the bottoms of the brow. I think I'm gonna go back and try and like clean up this tail just a little bit. Like I said, I'm never satisfied with the tail, but I feel like that's pretty good for now. So the next thing I do is I go back to the spoolie side, and then I'm just gonna brush back through my brows. I think that this helps to soften it just a little bit and to not make them look quite as harsh. And then I don't know if you can tell how at the tip of my brow, to me it looks kind of perfected, I guess, and I actually don't like for my brows to look super perfect because I just feel like they just don't look natural that way. So I actually like for my brows to look just a little kind of like on the messy side, I guess. So toward the front, I will actually just brush like right in the corners so that I don't have such a like perfect looking brow right here. But of course, if you like that super sculpted look, then you can just leave it that way. My preference is to just not have it looking so perfect. All right, I am gonna have to go back a little bit more and clean up with concealer, I feel like. I'm just so not satisfied with this tail back here. That's why I keep going back to it. But before I go in with concealer, I'm gonna do the other side. So what I'll do is I will do this off camera, and then I'll come back and show you why I wanted to wait to have both brows done before I go in with concealer. Okay, so I have the other brow done, and I always wait until I have both done so I can look and see if I think they're even, or if maybe I like overdrew the arch on one or something like that. So I do feel like the top of the arch on this brow is just a little bit higher than it should be. I mean, I feel like maybe you wouldn't even notice it if I didn't point it out. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take just an everyday concealer. This is the one from LA Girl. And I'm just gonna put just a little tiny bit of concealer right here. And I feel like I don't need concealer anywhere else, but I'll just put the concealer just in the areas that I need it. I don't ever draw concealer all around my brow. So just looking at them, I feel like that's really the only place. Maybe just a little tiny bit right there. And I feel like that's kind of like all I need for today. And then I'm just gonna take just any little like detailed brush, and I'm just gonna brush through where I put the concealer, you know, just to blend it out so that it's not all that visible. And I don't know if y'all can tell a difference, but to me, the arches, they kind of match a little bit better because I got rid of some of the brow powder on this one. So I feel like this looks kind of nice and natural, and I don't even bother to put the concealer all around my brows because to me this looks just fine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish up the rest of my makeup off camera. I'm gonna do like a really simple eye look, and then I'll come back and finish up the video. Okay, so this is my completed look for today. I did go back in and add just a little bit more brow powder to this brow because I felt like it was still sparse like after I finished everything off. But this is the completed look for today. I'm using the ABH Soft Glam palette on my eyes today. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this video, and I hope that you found it helpful. Let me know in the comments if you prefer brow pencils or brow powders for your brows. Do you not have a preference? And just let me know what some of your favorite products are so maybe I can try them in the future. So again, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're not already subscribed, I hope you'll consider doing so today, and I hope to see y'all back for my next one. Until then, take care. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.